Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the true economics of the car detailing industry. We're going to completely tear down that internet-fueled myth of easy money. We'll look at the real data, the hidden operational costs, and, what it actually takes to build a scalable business in this massive market.
All right, let's just dive right in. $500. Literally, that is often all it takes to buy a buffer, a pressure washer, a wet-dry vac, and boom, you can officially declare yourself a business owner. There are no degrees required, no mandatory licenses, and absolutely no landlords to appease if you're just working out of your trunk. Detailing currently holds the absolute lowest barrier to entry in America today.
Think about it. Most industries require these massive, complex business plans, extensive legal structuring, and months of preparation before you can even think about opening your doors. But in the detailing world, you really just need a driveway and a dream. The internet is constantly begging you to start this business, making it seem like this incredibly simple overnight transition from weekend hobbyist to six-figure entrepreneur.
Just look at the startup contrast here. Highly regulated retail spaces, like a cannabis dispensary, for example, face million-dollar hurdles. Operators there need up to $1.5 million just to open. They get absolutely crushed by heavy federal taxes, and they're left with incredibly tight 5 to 12% net margins. Meanwhile, auto detailing? It is total freedom. You can build an entire mobile setup for under 15 grand, remain entirely unregulated, and face zero exclusive licensing fees.
But, and this is a big but, that total freedom is a massive double-edged sword. Because if you can enter the market for $500, well, so can thousands of uninsured amateurs who are definitely going to try to undercut your pricing. Every single spring, a fresh wave of new operators shows up with a hardware store pressure washer and a $50 price list. And ironically, the exact same YouTube videos that generate massive consumer demand for clean cars are basically acting as recruitment ads. A video of a filthy car being resurrected gets millions of views, which creates thousands of new customers, sure, but it also creates hundreds of new competitors looking to start their own $500 business.
So let's get into Section 1, Hidden Traps and Physical Toll. We really need to look at why a 50% margin isn't exactly what it seems.
You've probably heard about that famous 50% profit margin, right? Well, it actually includes your own unpaid hourly wage. Sure, a solo operator might gross high numbers, but let's break it down honestly here. About 7% goes straight to chemicals, 11% goes to overhead, like fuel and insurance, and if you price your own 160 hours of monthly scrubbing at a standard $30 an hour, that eats up another 34%. What you're left with is a 48% net margin, meaning that margin is really mostly just your own salary, just with a better story attached. The second you hire an employee to hold that polisher, 2/3 of that hourly value walks right out of your pocket.
Plus, you aren't just selling clean cars here, you're literally selling 4 to 6 hours of your own knees, your back, and your wrists per job. That polisher in your hands vibrating for hours on end? That's creating a very well-documented path to carpal tunnel and tendonitis. You're risking your joints for every single dollar. As one industry expert brilliantly put it, your body is a depreciating asset with absolutely no trade-in value.
And the operational traps? They are very real. You've got federal clean water rules that forbid storm drain runoff, which forces you to buy expensive containment mats and literally vacuum up your own puddles. Then there's the brutal math of unpaid driving time between mobile clients. Think about it. Every mile you drive is an hour you aren't getting paid for. Add in those shoulder months where winter weather can cancel multiple bookings a week and the absolute necessity of Garage Keeper's insurance to protect against damage to customer vehicles, and you quickly see that the whole easy money myth completely evaporates.
Moving on to Section 2, Asset Preservation. This is all about moving beyond the standard $150 wash. To build a sustainable business, you absolutely need a tiered structure. Your express wash basically acts as lead generation, taking about an hour and yielding up to $120. But your core revenue? That comes from premium details, which take up to 5 hours for around $350. And finally, you have the elite tier. We're talking ceramic coatings and paint correction. Now, these take a full day or even more, but they command prices ranging from $600 to well over $2 grand.
So here is the absolutely crucial point. Elite services like ceramic coatings carry massive 75% to 85% gross margins. This is the crown jewel of the entire industry. The actual liquid in that tiny 30-milliliter bottle might only cost you $50, but because of the intensive paint correction and highly specialized application required, you are selling it for thousands. This is the exact moment where detailing stops being cleaning and starts being chemistry theater.
But wait, how does a $50 bottle of liquid turn into a $2,000 ticket? Well, there's another reason.
the mandatory fine print warranty inspections. To keep that 5 or 9-year warranty alive, the customer actually has to return to your shop every single year for an inspection, costing them $150 to $250 each time. If they miss even 1 year, the warranty legally collapses. So this fine print effectively guarantees you highly profitable recurring annual revenue and magically transforms a one-time buyer into a high-value long-term client.
You can also embrace technology to scale your time. Relying solely on traditional washing creates a very real hard ceiling determined by your own physical labor, yielding maybe $60 an hour for totally exhausting work. But by upselling a client to modern pre-cut protective films that utilize 3D scanning technology, you completely skip the risky hand cutting. You drastically reduce your physical strain, and you push your yield to over $200 an hour. It's a total game changer.
Which brings us to Section 3, Scaling Your Business Model. It's time to escape the bucket and buffer.
The proven path to true scale takes you from the mobile van right into a fixed shop, launching predictable recurring car wash memberships, and eventually, the holy grail, handing the polisher over to employees. You use that initial mobile phase to validate your market and build capital with basically zero overhead. Once you're established, you invest in a physical, climate-controlled shop. That allows for way higher volume and multi-day elite services without constantly stressing about the weather.
Implementing monthly subscriptions is huge here. It transforms unpredictable seasonal buyers into steady, relationship-based income that keeps the lights on when winter weather hits. The traditional pay-per-visit model leaves operators totally vulnerable to 30 to 50% revenue drops during the winter. But a subscription model, where customers pay a flat monthly fee for unlimited or tiered access, that creates payment certainty. It turns your business from a reactive service into a completely predictable utility.
Now, alternatively, you could look at international franchise models. For example, investing in a structured zero-royalty franchise like Cars Spa in India. It does require higher upfront capital, around 40 to 45 lakhs in their local currency, but it fast-tracks your success tremendously. A model like this provides elite training, centralized marketing, and exclusive factory direct access to proprietary products. And because it's a zero-royalty model, once your fixed costs are covered, you keep 100% of the profit on those high-ticket services. This often leads to crazy 50 to 70% margins in your very first year.
Ultimately, this industry is an absolute gold rush right now, as skyrocketing vehicle prices create massive demand for asset preservation. But to truly succeed, you have to choose to stop being the machine and start owning the process. So, as you look at this booming market, you really have to ask yourself, are you building a scalable business out of other people's hands, or are you just buying yourself the most physically expensive hourly job in America?